told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress.
No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chiori boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Ooh, is that lady the owner of Chiori Boutique? We've never seen her before.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to always keep your promises. Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. But from the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
Oh, I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Are you here to check out the offerings?
Sure are. Oh, Paimon's Paimon, and this is the Traveler. You're Miss Chiori, the owner of this boutique, right?
That's right. Oh, Navia told me about you. Glad to make your acquaintance.
Oh, we've heard a lot about you, too. Chiori Boutique is super famous in Fontaine.
Well, I appreciate the recognition. Is there anything you're looking for exactly? We're out of kids' clothes right now, I'm afraid.
Hey, Paimon's not a kid.
Oh, that. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Ugh, Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun. But it certainly always attracts a crowd.
Will you be showing off some of your designs, too?
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous Fashion Week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought. All that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chiori designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Oh, Paimon gets it!
Ugh, something like that. Yes.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Komani Express's most reliable courier.
Excuse me. Coming through. Coming through. Chiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so I'm really sorry.
Deep breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been a while. Wait a second. This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it? Oh.
So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders?
Well, I didn't run into anyone exactly.
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
Alright. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with two tails.
So it was a targeted hit?
I got the sense that they were actually
My fabric shipment?
Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown.
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
Oh, I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Huh?
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
You always know how to get me, Chiori. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me. So I spent one of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean,
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara. But if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
alright. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Uter. Now that name rings a bell.
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal.
So he's like a...
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square. But I guess he prefers playing dirt.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you...
Chiori! Wait!
And she's gone.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on. But Traveler, Paimon, could you go...
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that
Allez, c'est parti. Là maintenant on va aller chercher Chiori.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me like that. Oh? And who are these two?
So you came too? Allow me to introduce you. These two are the Traveler and Paimon. This officer over here is Shavras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
The Special Security and Surveillance Patrol? You mean that organization where everyone carries a musket?
Well, I wouldn't say everyone on the patrol uses a musket. I just happen to have formed...
Whoa, Chiori, Paimon didn't know you went so far back with such a cool person!
It's nothing. In my line of work, it's in return, I've helped her take care of some things that you could say aren't exactly in her purview as...
It's nice to meet you both. I have to say, your reputation precedes you. So, did something happen?
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is, Have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the Special Patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn your...
Neither. I'm requesting...
Are you planning to?
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this?
Follow me.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that. This should be the place.
You know, Chevraz, Paimon gets...
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work. You could...
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The Special Patrol needs her help quite often. The uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the...
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of
You scratch my back and I'll scratch...
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure, and in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect... So, who got on her case?
Oh, so this is what...
Huh? Uter, you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. So he's back at it, huh?
Whoa, what's this about a funeral?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two.
Sure, but...
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just...
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over and over again. It appears you've forgotten what I told you before. So... Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Ahem. Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to... Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you?
Forget it. It wasn't...
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I come across on the street.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon! How did he just go... flying?
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing...
Oh, not if I could help it. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything, he kept...
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to Oh, that reminds me. There is...
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor.
Have I? Well, It's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota.
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours. We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure... I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you...
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with some...
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with...
Well, if you think it's a good idea...
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be...
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more...
Paimon's gonna take a guess.
But of course, they supply... That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori?
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of...
Well...
Then it's still not famous enough.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty...
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful.
Okay,
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a... Oh, what is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though. Feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to get curious about all...
Then we have a deal. You'll
Yep, sounds good. Wait, kids' clothes? Paimon told you already she's not a little kid!
Et GG, envelope. Maintenant, il faut qu'on attend une journée entière. Enfin, entre guillemets, on n'a pas avancé juste le temps. Entre 6h du mat et 10h. Il faudra relancer ça. Et j'ai envelope.
Chiori, we're here!
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Wait, has Kirara...
Yep, with the Special Patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite... The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent...
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean?
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, that same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit for my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look...
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah. Come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits.
Set them up.
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into red...
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
Tu dois choisir des vêtements?
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Là c'est le costume. Ouais, ici c'est vraiment Inazuma quoi. Donc ça, Inazuma c'est la partie en fait qui représente, enfin, qu'ils ont pris un peu l'esprit du Japon. Le Japon d'avant où c'était vraiment inaccessible à y aller quoi.
Not bad. You might just have an... Anyway, over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been, Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or did you come here today because...
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori.
Cancel your...
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything...
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now?
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel. No one to take you to the ball. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
That's true. Come, let's pick up where we...
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied, so...
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short?
No need. You don't have to concern yourself with...
And I'd be happy to process that for you.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my outfit.
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, mate? Surely the entire population of Fontaine...
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more than a black market front...
Please calm down, sir.
What does it...
Haven't you heard? Chiori Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals.
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation around?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories, aren't they?
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and head.
You.
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why.
Alright.
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Chiori.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll...
Even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread. All...
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't...
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Yeah, and we can vouch for you.
Thank you. In that case...
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Of course.
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always.
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a...
Have you read?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days, I never even read the
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some...
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely...
You would think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Chiori. The article was even published alongside a photo of you.
What sort of photo?
A photo of you beating up someone on the street yesterday.
Yesterday? Wait,
Ucher again.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
behind the scenes, the true Chiori, relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chiori brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided you conceal it under the guise of fashion and...
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon, but it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, it can never be washed clean. They claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People who silence all dissent with violence.
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility, but with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
If I were younger, I might have said yes. But I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go. There's always next year. You just need to wait for all of this.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough. Then I suppose all there's left to say is best of luck. As for the models, none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood. Take care.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals.
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just...
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it.
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to
That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some...
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article... She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof.
She was just here.
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect?
Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Really? How was it?
The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just think. Oh no, we've... Did you hear what all those people were?
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can...
This is all Utira's fault! Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could! Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone...
That would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure.
You've got a point. Let's just Elaf, we're back! Oh, who's this?
Ah, this is Miss Letitia. She's also here to...
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right? Wait, please...
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her.
Ah, so you've come across that article as...
Yeah, you probably don't know this. But after I got in...
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chiori. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes and how pretty they were.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business. And we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but
Didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left?
yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened. She heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress. And that...
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just... After I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try...
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Well, see, that wasn't... He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have...
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric...
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chiori...
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience...
Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here since...
Huh? I thought...
Well, we were. If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any...
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would...
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia.
All right, sounds good. Let's... Chiori?
How did you know where I... Elaf told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Sorry about that.
All right, don't mind if we do.
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that.
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics.
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Well, that's a great dream to—
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room. I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular. Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that simple. Least— Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article. And that Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors so we can publish—
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might be a good place.
Sounds good! We'll come with! As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next—
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or—
but your accessories! Didn't you say your designs were unusable?
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that. To tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but thinking about all that. I just can't bear to take— This—
What did you just say, Chiori?
The sea. Seashells, coral. I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori, wait! Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitoile? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Leave it to us! be enough, right? Chiori, will these do?
Everything looks
Great! So are we gonna head back?
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more than just the designs to. Okay, we've got the materials.
You mean we have to start from scratch?
I should be able to make it.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon major deja?
Ganyu? Who's
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime? Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince me.
Well, I can't argue with you there. All this grit and determination.
What else can we help?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently.
You got it! Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma. And I used the scrap. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all these outfits!
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win. Even if it takes everything.
Okay.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day. Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions. Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. What happened? Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di...
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause you see,
huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits. We need...
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some...
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course! Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a...
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every...
Not this again.
moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chi. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's something we...
Okay, so it's like this.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of them.
Paimon's glad to hear it! Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence. Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it? Will she be...
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show.
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second.
Yeah, some...
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some...
Alright, we're counting on... Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard...
You're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along?
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you...
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front.
Okay, Paimon...
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can't stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you...
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and large sales volumes. I don't know. Maybe the rent here is cheap.
All right. Ugh, it's really creepy. Paimon would never choose to buy anything from a place like that.
You make a good point. Let's all be on our guard.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please follow me, dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Uter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are... These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Ah! Why is it moving?
It seems to have stopped.
Where did this thing take us?
It seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Look out! There are guards here!
This is where you fall. Overruled. Huh?
Ouchie! I'll protect us. Hi? Oh no!
Transfixed.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uta?
Look over there.
Ugh! That water looks super nasty!
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch.
He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
That's terrifying! Let's... This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because we used to be.
Wait, you're practically at each other's throats! Now you're
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leave people in awe. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of. For my part, I gambled it all and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side.
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is...
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Look. Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. That didn't do anything.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
I am the cutting edge of fashion.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Everlasting as the moon!
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure.
Those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory. You're not—
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think I have any intention of letting it get past these walls?
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is a legitimate purpose.
What? Destroying Chioria Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know.
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal. But it's up to you to decide what it is.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall...
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened?
He realized long ago how utterly
You gave up on your dream. But that wasn't enough, was— You think you understand this whole thing, Uter.
Pathetic. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Tibet by storm. Well...
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams, but more pitiful still are—
You...
Yeah, just leave this guy to us!
No. You go instead.
But he has a gun!
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons are best to—
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying to—
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this. If I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy. Allow me to show you the true meaning of the Chioria brand. The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chiori Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
an enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin!
the world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one. Not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers. little more to the left.
Like this?
Perfect.
Phew. Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Tevat without
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Boggle Cat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about...
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's on the...
Huh?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette.
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right? I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express, we're going. Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving, Kirara? Huh? About that. The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine. What? No, that's so embarrassing.
Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chio?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show, appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization, using weaponry in public, hosting a dangerous performance with...
Chevras, we can explain.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at...
Enjoyed that, didn't you? Ugh, you nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning...
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Sandra, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have this one.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go have fun. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book.
You know him well.
Thanks again, Chevras.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. That was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right, all right. Follow me.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to...
A place with a view?
Perfect. I'll be right there. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. But what did you want to give us?
Here, take this.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Chioria Boutique, too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two. You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win. Even if it was just to honor...
Well, we may have helped just a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that a single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chiori Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But, about the stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. But before that, I'd like to admire the view for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.